the Bundesliga will return in the coming days. So that's why I'm making my own Bundesliga predictions for the 21-22 season. I'm not an avid follower of the Bundesliga, I must admit, but I do love many of their teams. So that's why I'm making these predictions. But anyways, we'll see how I do. Let's get on with it. In 18th, I've put Firth, or Fourth. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's a German name, not entirely sure. I believe it is one of the teams that got promoted from last season. So, I mean, obvious, it's pretty easy to put them in a relegation spot because I haven't heard of them, I haven't seen them play, I don't know much about them, and I feel like they just won't have a good season because, well, they were in the second division and they're facing much tougher opposition. I don't know the transfer business, but yeah, it's just 18th for them, and it is 18th because Bundesliga only has 18 teams in it. But anyways, Firth in 18th. In 17th, I have Bochum. This one I have heard of a little bit, and I'm putting them in 17th because they are yet another newly promoted side. I don't know much about them, but I have heard of them a little bit because they did go pretty far in the DFB Pokal last time. So they did pretty well, and hopefully they can do decently in the Bundesliga this term, but I don't really see it, so that's why I'm putting them in 17th. Another relegation for another newly promoted side. Sorry, Bochum. 16th, I have Arminia Bielefeld. Armenia. We'll just go with Armenia. I think that's how it's pronounced. Armenia. It's I believe they didn't do that well in their first season, but they did survive relegation, so good on them. And this time I'm actually putting them in relegation playoffs, which is 16th for the Bundesliga. And I'm putting them there because I don't see much growth from them. I don't think that they'll play well. I think they'll play worse than they did last season and just end up getting relegated or getting close to relegated. So yeah, 16th place for Arminia Bielefeld, that team. And 15th, I have FC Köln. I believe it's FC Köln. Anyways, Köln also had a very terrible season last term, and they had a pretty good season a few seasons ago. That doesn't really make any sense. But anyways, they have been a pretty good team for a few years, but last season they finished in 16th and nearly got relegated, but luckily they won the relegation playoffs and were able to stay up in the Bundesliga. But this time I think they'll just escape relegation and relegation playoffs by finishing in 15th. I don't see much improvement from them, but maybe I could be wrong. I don't really know their full transfer business, but I mean, I like Köln. They have a pretty decent side, and I think they can do decently well. Okay. In 14th, I have Augsburg. Augsburg is another more familiar team that I know, and well, they do have some pretty decent talents and some pretty good veterans. I don't see them finishing that high. Last season they had a pretty poor season. I believe they finished in 13th, and I just see them just slipping a little bit. So yeah, Augsburg in 14th. Not much else to say about it. Just hopefully they can push on for more, but I don't see them finishing higher than 14th. Mainz in 13th is what I have for this Premier League for this Bundesliga predictions, because Mainz, they have a really good squad, but they just fail to perform. I mean, I believe they have the likes of Robin Quaison and can't think of any others at the moment, but it doesn't matter. Mainz, I feel like they have a decent squad, but they just underperform their actual expectations, so it sucks for them, but I'm gonna put them in 13th. I wish they could be higher, but unfortunately, no. So yeah, 13th for Mainz. In 12th, I have Hertha Berlin. The first Berlin on this list, because there is another one, but that is for later. Anyways, Hertha Berlin in 12th, and it's just I like Hertha Berlin. They have some pretty good talents, but they could lose some of their best players, like Matthias Cunha. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And I think if he does leave, then they could finish lower. But I mean, it looks like they're gonna keep him, so I'll put him in 12th. I feel like they could finish higher, but it's just what my gut's telling me. 12th for Hertha. Why do I want to put them lower? I don't know. 11th now for Freiburg. Freiburg, actually, I quite like Freiburg, mostly because this is a story for another day. Anyways, Freiburg is a decent squad, and I feel like they outperformed their actual quality of their squad because I don't really know much of their players from their squad. But I feel like Freiburg could actually do pretty decent in this Bundesliga season and finish mid-table. 11th place is a good finish for them, so I feel very proud to say Freiburg in 11th. So just under mid-table, we have Stuttgart in 10th place. Now Stuttgart, they're very known for producing a lot of young talent that gets poached from other teams. Think the likes of Benjamin Pavard, is now at Bayern, and Joshua Kimmich, who is also now at Bayern. Anyways, Stuttgart still have a really good squad. I think they have the likes of Nico Gonzalez, who just came off of a Copa America victory with Argentina, and he played really well. Not perfect, but he did play decently, so good on him, and good luck to Stuttgart. But yeah, I'm putting them in 10th place, and maybe they'll prove me wrong and go higher, but I don't really see it, so yeah, 10th place. Now the other Berlin, Union Berlin, I put them in 9th this time. I feel like they overperformed last season, and I feel like they'll have a slight drop. I was going to put them lower. Originally I had them in 12th, but I feel like they do have a really good squad. Or not, they have a good squad. They have a good squad, and I feel like 9th is a respectable finish for them, even though it is a little drop off from last season. I just feel like the other teams have improved a lot more than they have, so 9th for Union Berlin. 8th, we have Hoffenheim. I put Hoffenheim because I feel like they've had a massive drop off. It's just, they were really good for the past few seasons, and they were also in the Champions League, and yet they had a massive fall off, and not even Europa League for them. So it's quite tough to put them in a spot, but I feel like 8th is good for them, and they should finish around these spots. But yeah, we'll go with 8th for Hoffenheim. 7th, Wolfsburg. The main reason why I have them in 7th and not higher is because they have Champions League now. They finished in 4th last season, and with this upcoming season having Champions League, it could take a toll on them, and I feel like it will, and it will drop them off into 7th place in the Bundesliga, especially if they put a lot of focus. I feel like even if they do progress, which I don't think they will, I think they might drop into the Europa League. It will hinder them, and it will just make them drop off their form in the Bundesliga. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I like Wolfsburg. They're actually one of the only teams that has a green kit, and I very respect. I love the fact that they have a green kit. But anyways, Wolfsburg to finish 7th because of the toll that Champions League and Europa League could take on them. 6th place, I feel like despite losing their manager and despite maybe losing a few other key players, I'm putting Borussia Mönchengladbach in 6th, where they could finish in a Europa League spot, because I feel like they just deserve to be in Europe. I know they dropped off massively in the Champions League, getting knocked out by Manchester City, I think they got knocked out by Manchester City. But it's just, Borussia Mönchengladbach deserve to be in Europa League or in Champions League. They're a good squad, and they deserve to be playing at those heights. And they just need more experience there. That's about it. New manager, so it could be tough, and they could drop off low, but I just have them in 6th. Why not? Now in 5th, we have Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen, they're quite a mixed bag. I love them. They had a fantastic run of form in the last Bundesliga season, but then fell off again. And this is all without Kai Havertz, and they're gonna lose Leon Bailey to Aston Villa now. But I feel like they did reinforce a bit of the squad, and they still have a very solid squad. Their defense is quite solid as well. I think they can finish 5th, hence why I put them 5th. So 5th, I believe that's a Europa League spot for them, so I think that's a respectable finish for them, and they should finish among those spots. So I shouldn't lose so many points, but that's not really what I'm trying to predict. I'm trying to predict them straight on. So yeah, Bayer Leverkusen in 5th place. In 4th place, I have Frankfurt. Frankfurt, I believe they signed Jens-Peter Hauge from AC Milan, who performed really good against AC Milan before they signed him, and then they signed him. He played pretty decently. I personally love him. He's quite astonishing for me, and now Frankfurt has him, so it's quite interesting. And they still have Andre Silva, despite the rumors of him leaving. I think he'll actually stay, and if he stays, with him and Kostic and Jens-Peter Hauge, could be a formidable front three. So Frankfurt could finish in a Champions League spot, and that's where I put them. In the 4th place finish, hopefully Champions League for them. And I feel like they do deserve to be in the Champions League spot. So yeah, Frankfurt in 4th place. On to the top 3 now, and it's very tough. Obviously there's the big 3 now. I'm wearing one of them, Bayern. And then of course there's also Borussia Dortmund and RB Leipzig. I love all 3 of their teams, but in 3rd I have made that decision to put RB Leipzig in 3rd place. I love RB Leipzig. Obviously I have their jersey up here of someone who hasn't played for them but has signed for them, Dominic Szoboszlai, but that's besides the point. RB Leipzig have a fantastic squad, and I hope mostly this player gets uninjured and Anyways, he gets healed and is ready to play for the season. And if he does, hopefully he performs really well. But even without him, they still have a fantastic squad. I believe they bought in Alexander Sorloth from... Wait, was he already there? I'm not entirely sure. I don't fully follow the Bundesliga transfer window. But anyways, RB Leipzig have a fantastic squad. Their defense has been taken apart a little bit with Konate leaving to Liverpool and Upamecano leaving to this team. But I still feel like they have a solid squad, and they should finish in a respectable 3rd place spot. Now, in 2nd place, it's quite obvious who I'm going to go for. I'm going to go with Borussia Dortmund, because Bayern is just... We'll talk about Bayern in the next segment, but Dortmund, I feel like they will push on. I feel like, despite losing Jadon Sancho, they brought in Daniel Malin, and they still have Gio Reyna and Erling Haaland. I feel like those key players will actually all help them to score more goals. Even though they have a pretty leaky defense, I think they'll push forward and actually push Bayern to the edge and just lose out to them in the final few games. Maybe even in the final game. It'll be very close. I think it'll be a close race. I feel like Bayern is dropping off a little bit, especially with their new manager. But yeah, Dortmund to push all the way with a very... It's a new manager, but he is shown to be a great manager with Borussia Mönchengladbach, Marco Rose that is. And yeah, so Borussia Dortmund to finish in 2nd place, just behind Bayern Munich. Speaking of Bayern Munich, I have put them in 1st place, champions of Germany, yet again. I did this mostly because they still have a absolutely stacked squad. Robert Lewandowski, Kingsley Coman, Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry. I can go on and on and on. They have a fantastic squad. They just do. But if you look at the preseason, they haven't done too well. Of course, the preseason is nothing to really evaluate because it's preseason. It's just a little bit of warm-up for the team. But you can still see the cracks. And the new manager, he hasn't won a game yet. At least from what I know, he hasn't won a game yet. I love Julian Nagelsmann. He did a great job with RB Leipzig, pushing them up into 2nd place. And it's fantastic. But now that he has a bigger squad, a much bigger team with bigger objectives, it could be tough for him. And I don't see too much accomplishment, but they still will win the Bundesliga. I don't see them winning anything else. I don't see them winning the Champions League, but Bundesliga, for sure, Bayern Munich, they'll win it under Julian Nagelsmann, but it will be close. I feel like Dortmund will push them very close. Bayern will step up a little bit. Dortmund will try to catch them up. It'll be I think it could be a 3-horse race, but I think ultimately it will be between Dortmund and Bayern in the final few games, and Bayern will ultimately win it, as always, yet again. It's not a big prediction, but yeah, Bayern Munich to win the Bundesliga again. Just before I go, a few players that I think that I will personally watch out for, and I think that you guys should watch out for, is Dani Olmo from RB Leipzig and Dominic Szoboszlai if he gets uninjured, if he comes back from injury. I keep saying that. Anyways, Dominic Szoboszlai is another player that I really want to see play, and at a big team, I'm quite happy about that. But also keep an eye out for Dayot Upamecano. He'll be under the same manager, just in a different shirt, in this shirt actually, Bayern Munich. And then also watch out for Gio Reyna. He will be on the prowl to take Jadon Sancho's spot. So we'll see. So yeah, look out for those players. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like and subscribe. We'll see how my predictions do.